Congratulations, you just got a level funded surplus, I'm betting. Or if not, you heard about it and you're saying, what the heck is this thing? Well, a surplus and a level funded plan is one of the most beautiful things, and why level funded plans, or what are now today called level funded plans, have existed for decades. They're not brand new, and any broker who says, hey, it's brand new, well, they don't know their history. These plans have been around for a long time. And before the passage of Obamacare, the primary value of this was that the business owner retained the risk and retained the upside while protecting themselves on the downside when medical claims for the group were lower than expected. Okay, so what is a surplus, Tom? Well, the surplus is the amount of money that is left over in the claims account at the end of the plan's runout period. Now, I'm going to talk in generalities here because I'm talking to the entire marketplace. At ATA, in my opinion, we do things in a more traditional way. I'll talk about it from ATA's perspective and then how some other operators will play games inside of it to make it better for the carrier or the insurance company or the TPA, but less good for the company long term. All right, so what is the surplus? The surplus is the amount of money left over in the plan's claims account at the end of the runout period. This money is in general contributory, so it has to be used in a couple of different ways. And I'm not a tax attorney, but this is how I understand it. That money should be used for the employee welfare of that company. Cool. You can use that in multiple different ways. You can pay against next year's costs. You can add additional health and wellness benefits like dental or vision, or possibly other kind of interesting benefits like wellness retreats. Now, everybody has to be treated the same, so keep that in mind, but there are really cool things that you can do with the surplus. Now, some of the fine print that you need to look at are some of the games that the Wall Street players, for lack of a better term, have started to introduce in this to change the value proposition. One, see your surplus and see if it is a, hey, I'm getting cash that I can direct for the benefit of all my employees, or if it's store credit. Some carriers are saying, yeah, you get it back, but it's store credit. You have to use it with us. And that is okay, but it's a whole heck of a lot better to say that's still my money. I'm going to use my money to do benefits for my people. Another one that you need to look at inside of your surplus is this 100% or is there forfeiture? Now, I've seen it in some places up to 90% forfeiture, which that makes my blood boil. But with that, this is the client's money or the plan's money. So with this, if you have, let's say $50,000, some players will say, we're going to take $45,000 of that and put it in our pocket, and you get $5 and say thank you. That's a transaction you're not going to be happy with if you're a business owner. Other carriers will take different percentages. Like most of them will take half, or they'll say, you get half, I take half. Some will take 67%, some variance. Other players will say, no, it's your money. We're not taking your money. We believe it changes the way in which we pay claims, so we're not taking it. Okay, so that's the second question you need to ask about the plan's surplus mechanism. One, is it store credit or cash? Two, how much am I forfeiting, or how much are they taking for an additional profit or fee for the company when my people do well? And then number three is hostage or free. Now, this is the most egregious, is that some players or carriers will say, yeah, you get a surplus, but only if you renew with us. That is a way of saying, I've got your money, I'm holding it hostage. So that is the three big questions that I would really ask. One, is it my money? And if the answer to that is yes, okay, so it's not hostaged. So if I have a good year and I take my money and I go somewhere else with it, you're not going to say, no, you can't do that. You have to spend it with me. Number two, how much will I forfeit back to you if we run well? So it's a forfeit procedure. How much percentage do I actually get as the business owner whenever my plan and my people are prudent with their healthcare consumption? How much does the carrier or the TPA take? And number three, is it store credit? Do I have to spend it with you? Or can I spend it with any carrier or player that I want that's a qualified benefit? Now, some store credits are worse than others because some carriers have other ancillary lines, and that makes it a lot easier, frankly. But some of them don't, and so they're basically forcing you to spend it back with them. So those are the three big questions I would ask if you have a surplus or if you're looking into level funded benefits for how to direct the surplus and where the deep value is. The surplus is always going to be bigger and more impactful on the future of the company if it's 100%, if it's cash over store credit, and it's not hostaged. Each one of those is another additional cost that you'll have to clear in order to keep your money with you instead of sending it off to Wall Street or some other TPA or carrier. So make sure you dig into the details, because like everything else, the devil's in them. Remember, on surpluses, these are generally delivered at the end of the plan's run-out period. So most contracts will have a 12/18 or 12/24. So if you set up a plan in month 25 of the plan, you should be eligible for the surplus. Depends on the contract that you would agree to, but that's the first thing you need to know is, hey, it looks like my plan has extra money. When do I get it? Well, it's at the end of the plan's run-out period. Now, some people play games and they say the run-out period is 60 months or some crazy amount of months. Realize that they're just keeping that money for 5 additional years. So keep that in mind. Other than that, these are the 3 big questions that you're going to need to answer in evaluating the surplus for your plan and your people's future. Thanks for your time. Enjoy your surplus. Do something great for your team. They did great for the plan. And folks, it's the best part about level funding.